Welcome to Kitchen 101, where we teach you how to think like a chef, how to cook, not what to cook. Today you will learn the best way to store bacon. So grab yourself a pen, paper, and a big old slab of pork belly, because I'm Professor Kitchen, and class is in session. Unless you have a religious prohibition against it, you probably love bacon. I'm not so sure what it is about cured pork belly that is so delicious, but it is. When you go to your local grocery, you probably pick up a pack of bacon that looks something like this. This package is great if you're looking to store large amounts of a product in a very small space. What's not good about this packaging is if you're actually trying to use it. The bacon fat sticks the pieces together. The package is small, and so it makes it hard to put the bacon back in. And even if you can get the bacon in, it doesn't reseal. If you're feeding a herd, or if you're the type of person who can eat a whole package in one sitting, all of that is fine. However, if you only need 3 or 4 pieces, it is now a problem. If you leave it too long unsealed, then it's going to start drying out and absorbing whatever flavors are near it. That includes last night's leftover shrimp. Not a good situation. Let's look at how to address these issues. First, let's talk about the sticky problem. When bacon fat touches bacon fat, it immediately becomes emotionally committed. It doesn't like to let go. Just like newlyweds, the pieces go everywhere together. The best way to separate them is to make sure the bacon is not frozen, but it is cold. Frozen bacon is impossible to separate. It's like an ice age glacier of porky goodness. Room temperature bacon is like a politician and will tend to stretch, bend, contort, and tear. However, fully thawed bacon that is at icebox temperature can be convinced to split up and go their separate ways. Use your fingernail or a butter knife to separate the edges. Slowly pull up and back parallel to the bacon. If you encounter any resistance, stop pulling immediately and move your hand down to where the bacon pieces meet and slowly start pulling apart again. The reason you need to move your hand is that the strength of anything, rope, steel, or even bacon, is dependent on how much distance is between the puller and the pullee. So as more of the bacon comes away, then the weaker the bacon gets. The weaker the bacon, the easier it is to deform or tear. Also, the fat sticks to itself, but the meat doesn't. So as you're pulling, you may come into a section that has more fat, and it suddenly gets harder to separate. Keep your pulling hand close to where the bacon pieces are connected to keep from stretching and tearing the bacon. Now that we've got the bacon pieces separated, how do we store them in such a way as to keep them from sticking again? The answer is wax paper. Yeah, that stuff you have stuck in your drawer that you never seem to find a use for. It is great for keeping things separated while freezing. Could you use parchment paper for this? Yeah, but wax paper is cheap compared to parchment. Why waste the parchment? Here's the method. Lay some wax paper out on a sheet pan. Now, lay the bacon out on the wax paper, making sure that they don't touch. When that layer is full, lay down another sheet of wax paper and fill that one up. After you have arranged all of your bacon, take the sheet pan and stick it in the freezer for several hours. Overnight would be best. Once the bacon is frozen, you can peel the strips off and toss them in a zip-top bag. Now, put the bacon into the freezer. Presto! Now you have individually frozen bacon pieces that won't stick together. With this storage method, you can get as many pieces out at once as you need, and the rest stay nice and frozen in a sealed container. A bonus thing about this method is that it works for cooked bacon as well. Just cook up your bacon like you like it. Lay it out on wax paper, freeze it, pop it into a zip-top bag, and put it back in the freezer. Talk about a great way to make breakfast quickly, and way less expensive than the pre-packaged, fully cooked bacon at your grocer's. Bacon is a favorite food, but it can be a pain. Don't let it be. You bring home the bacon, now you know how to store it too. Do you have any great tips for storing bacon? Let everyone know down in the comment section below. If you'd like to see more classes like this, there's a link to one on the left-hand side, my right, of the screen. Thank you for coming to class today. Hope you have a great week. God bless. Class dismissed.